Good evening. This is Chairwoman Jane Lichter. I now call to order the meeting of the Board of Education of Baltimore County for Tuesday, August 8th, 2023. I invite you to recite the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag to be led by Kayla Drummond. We will then have a moment of silence in recognition of those who have served education in Baltimore County.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Tonight's Board of Education meeting is being held in person and broadcast through the BCPS online live meeting broadcast and on BCPS-TV, Comcast Xfinity Channel 73, Verizon Fios Channel 34. In order to efficiently conduct this meeting, all voting items this evening will be done by roll call vote. The first item on the agenda is the consideration of the August 8th agenda. Dr. Yarbrough, are there any additions or changes to tonight's agenda?
I am not aware of any additions or changes to tonight's agenda.
Hearing none, the agenda stands as presented. Earlier this evening, the board met in closed session pursuant to the Open Meetings Act for the following reasons: to discuss the appointment, employment, assignment, promotion, discipline, demotion, compensation, removal, resignation, or performance evaluation of appointees, employees, or officials over whom it has jurisdiction, or any other personnel matter that affects one or more specific individuals, and consult with counsel to obtain legal advice. The summary of the closed session and open session information summary can be found on board docs under this meeting board agenda date. The next item on the agenda is personnel matters, and for that I call on Mr. McCall. Good evening.
Good evening, Board Chair Lichter, Vice Chair Harvey, Superintendent Dr. Yarbrough, members of the board. I'd like the board's consent for the following personnel matters: retirements, resignations, leaves, and deceased recognition of service.
Do I have a motion to approve the personnel matters as presented in Exhibits D1 through D4?
So moved, Dominowski.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second, Pumphrey.
Thank you. Any discussion? May I have a roll call vote, please?
Ms. Dominowski?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Ms. Dolusky?
Yes.
Ms. Frempong?
Yes.
Ms. Henn?
Ms. Henn, yes.
Ms.
Yes.
Harvey?
Yes.
Ms. Drummond?
Yes.
Ms. Pumphrey?
Yes.
Dr. Savoy?
Yes.
Mr. McMillian? Ms. Booker-Dwyer? Ms. Lichter?
Yes.
Favor is 10.
Thank you. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next item on the agenda is administrative appointments, and for that I call on Dr. Yarbrough.
Madam Chair Lichter, Vice Chair Harvey, and members of the board, I'm bringing forward the following administrative appointments for your approval: Assistant Principal, Hollibird Middle School, Franklin High School, Middleborough Elementary School, Stoneleigh Elementary School, School Improvement at Woodlawn Middle School, Western School of Technology. Human Resources Officer, Office of Staffing, Supervisor, Chief Child Find and Preschool Services, Office of Birth through 5, Specialist, School Improvement, Office of Mathematics, 2 positions, Specialist, Special Education, Specialist Preschool Inclusion, and Specialist ESOL, Immigrant Family Engagement.
Do I have a motion to approve the administrative appointments as presented in Exhibit E1?
So moved, Pumphrey.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second, Dominowski.
Thank you. Any discussion? May I have a roll call vote, please?
Ms. Dominowski?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Ms. Frempong?
Yes.
Ms. Dolusky?
Yes.
Ms. Henn?
Yes.
Ms. Harvey?
Yes.
Ms. Drummond?
Yes.
Ms. Pumphrey?
Yes.
Dr. Savoy?
Yes.
Ms. Lichter?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Motion carries. Dr. Yarbrough?
Thank you. We'll begin with some of our board appointees from the previous meeting. Attending this evening is Sierra Connors. Please stand. She's attending this evening with her husband, Brandon Connors. Please stand and join her. Ms. Connors is being promoted from staff development teacher, Chadwick Elementary School, to assistant principal at Chadwick Elementary School. She brings 13 years of experience in Baltimore County Public Schools, including a teacher of staff development and a classroom teacher at Lyons Mill and Bedford Elementary. Congratulations. Our next appointment is Chief Academic Officer Melissa E. DiDonato. Dr. DiDonato brings 23 years of experience in Baltimore County Public Schools, coming from Manager, Learning Solutions Division of Instructional Technology. Her previous experiences include Executive Director, Office of the Community Superintendent, Principal of Padonia International Elementary, Assistant to the Assistant Superintendent, Assistant Principal, Public Placement Specialist in the Office of Special Education, Resource Teacher of Special Education, Assistant Principal, and Special Education Teacher. Congratulations, Dr. DiDonato. Our next appointment is Lisa Evelyn Smith. She is attending with her mother, Nadine Evelyn. Please stand. Thank you. She is being promoted from English teacher at Golden Ring Middle School to assistant principal at Golden Ring Middle School with 24 years experience in Baltimore County. Her previous experiences include English teacher at Golden Ring, reading teacher at Deep Creek, classroom teacher at Victory Villa Elementary and Owings Mills and Powhatan Elementary Schools, as well as Sandy Plains Elementary. Congratulations. Next appointment this evening is Anna Geisinger. Please stand. She's being promoted from Human Resources Officer, Human Resource Information Systems, to Manager, Certificated Employees in the Office of Staffing, with 13.7 years experience in Baltimore County. Her previous experiences also include Human Resources Officer, Human Resources Planning Supervisor, Human Resources Officer, Department of Personnel, and she has previous experience outside of Baltimore County Public Schools for 9 years. Congratulations. Next appointment is Terry Moses. She is attending with her daughter, Nadia Moses. Being promoted from the position of Assistant Principal, Franklin High School, to Principal, Owings Mills High School. Her previous experiences include Assistant Principal at Southwest Academy, Deep Creek Middle, and English teacher at Franklin High, Randallstown High, Catonsville High. She has 26 years experience in Baltimore County. Congratulations. Next appointment is Karan Payne. She is attending this evening with her husband, Antoine Payne. Please stand. Nope. Being promoted from the position of reading specialist at Campfield Early Learning Center to assistant principal, Kearney Elementary School. Her previous experiences include resource teacher, Office of English Language Arts, Bedford Elementary, classroom teacher, reading specialist at Featherbed Lane Elementary, and classroom teacher at Bedford Elementary. She brings 14.4 years experience in Baltimore County. Congratulations. Next appointment this evening is Catherine Price. She is attending with her husband, Matthew Price, and her mother-in-law, Mary Jo Price. She's being promoted from kindergarten teacher at Kingsville Elementary School to assistant principal, Watershed Public Charter School. Her previous experiences include Kingsville Elementary kindergarten teacher, classroom teacher at Kingsville, classroom teacher at Woodbridge Elementary School, and she has 21 years experience in Baltimore County. Congratulations. Our next appointment is Taylor Ransom. He is attending with his girlfriend, Kenzie Nealon. Please stand. He's being promoted from science teacher at Lochraven High School to assistant principal at Parkville High School. Taylor brings 8 years' experience in Baltimore County. Previous experience includes science teacher at Lochraven and Newtown High School. Congratulations. Next appointment is Lynn Smith. She is attending with her husband, Dave Smith. Lynn is being promoted from the position of mathematics teacher at Hereford Middle School to assistant principal Towson High School. With 16 years' experience in Baltimore County, previous experiences include consulting teacher, math teacher at Delaney High School and Owings Mill High School, and previous experiences of 4 years outside of Baltimore County. Congratulations. Our next appointment is Shawn Stahl. She is attending with her husband, Kevin Stahl. Shawn is being promoted from Human Resources Office of Staffing to Manager, Non-Certificated Office of Staffing. She brings 17.1 years of experience in Baltimore County. Previous positions included Personnel Officer, Analyst 1, Analyst 2, and experience about 10 years outside of Baltimore County Public Schools. Congratulations. Our next appointment this evening, who is watching virtually, is Carly Arsenault. She is being promoted from classroom teacher, Victory Villa Elementary School, to assistant principal, Victory Villa Elementary School. Carly brings 5 years' experience in Baltimore County Public Schools, and previous to that, she has 4 years' experience outside of Baltimore County. Congratulations, Carly. Our next appointment is Yolanda Booker. She's being promoted from assistant principal, Woodlawn High School, to principal of Hollibird Middle School. Yolanda brings 16 years' experience in Baltimore County Public Schools. Previous experiences included resource teacher from Hollibird Middle School, stat teacher at Catonsville Center for Alternative Studies and Woodlawn High School, reading teacher and mentor teacher at Deer Park Middle Magnet, and reading teacher at Woodlawn Middle. She also has 6 years' experience outside of Baltimore County. Congratulations, Yolanda Booker. Our next appointment is Yusuf Deshel. He is moving from the position of special education teacher, inclusion Towson High School, to assistant principal of Towson High School. Mr. Deshel brings 2 years' experience in Baltimore County Public Schools, 24 years prior experience in the state of Maryland. His previous role in Baltimore County was special education teacher at Towson and Deer Park Middle Magnet. Congratulations. Next appointment is Stephen Kinsey. He is moving from the position of lead athletic trainer, University of Maryland Medical System, to supervisor athletic trainer in the Office of Athletics. His previous experience includes Towson Sports Medicine, co-owner of Hereford Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine, and the head athletic trainer for the Baltimore Stallions. Congratulations, Mr. Kinsey. Next appointment is Amy Puffenbarger. She is being promoted from the position of Special Education Liaison in Baltimore City Public Schools, so welcome to Baltimore County, to Specialist in Compliance in Special Ed. She brings to us many years of experience in Baltimore City Public Schools as a Special Education Liaison, an Educational Specialist, an Educational Associate, an IEP Chair, and a Special Education Teacher. Welcome to Baltimore County Public Schools. Next appointment attending this evening is Lauren Beck. Lauren is attending with family friend Lauren Backert and Principal Sharon Fisher from Middleborough Elementary School. She is being promoted from the position of classroom teacher to assistant principal. Her previous experience includes elementary principal in the classroom at Perry Hall Elementary and previous experience outside of Baltimore County. She has 8 years' experience in Baltimore County. Congratulations. Next appointment is James Book Jr. He is attending with wife Emily Book and principal Kieran O'Connell from Franklin High School. James is being promoted from teacher of science at Franklin to assistant principal at Franklin High. Previous experience also includes science teacher at Eastern Technical High School and Patapsco High School. James has 24 years of experience in Baltimore County Public Schools. Congratulations. Our next appointment is Tiffany Harris. She is attending with her daughter Casey and son Patrick. Tiffany is being promoted from special education teacher at Hernwood Elementary School to assistant principal at Western School of Technology. With 21 years experience in Baltimore County, background experiences include assistant principal at Sudbrook Magnet Middle, human resources officer at the Office of Staffing, assistant principal, Western School of Technology in Lansdowne Middle School, resource teacher for the Office of Special Education, and special education teacher. She also has 14 years experience outside of Baltimore County Public Schools. Congratulations. Next appointment is Anjanette Henry. She's attending with her husband, Chad. Promotion is from the position of reading specialist at Hampton Elementary School to assistant principal, Stoneleigh Elementary School. Previous experiences over the last 24 years in Baltimore County include resource teacher at Perry Hall Elementary, reading specialist at Hampton Elementary and Catonsville Elementary, classroom teacher at Pot Spring Elementary, and classroom teacher at Kingsville Elementary. Congratulations. Next appointment is Dustin LaPlay. He is attending with wife Jenna LaPlay and friend Dr. Scott Rodriguez Hobbs, principal of Patapsco High. Dustin is being promoted from lead teacher at Patapsco High School to assistant principal Hollibird Middle School. Previous experiences for the last 15 years in Baltimore County Public Schools include technology education teacher at Patapsco, stat teacher at Patapsco, math teacher at Old Court Middle and Lansdowne Middle. Congratulations. Our next appointment is Monica McCander. She is attending with husband David and son Pearson. Monica is being promoted from the position of staff development teacher at Arbutus Elementary School to specialist school improvement in the Office of Mathematics. Previous experiences over the last 19 and a half years in Baltimore County include stat teacher at Sparks Elementary, consulting teacher, classroom teacher at Lutherville Lab, Hernwood Elementary, and Woodbridge Elementary. Congratulations. Next appointment is Victoria Suridius. She is attending with husband Sean Whitaker and her former principal, Jennifer Ganaris from Sparrows Point Middle School. Victoria is being promoted from mathematics teacher at Sparrows Point to specialist of school improvement in the Office of Math. Her 17 years of experience in Baltimore County have been spent as a math teacher at Sparrows Point Middle. Congratulations, Victoria. Next appointment this evening is Donald Terry Jr. He is attending with his mother, Vanessa Terry. Donald is being promoted from Senior Business Partner, Maryland Institute College of Art, welcome to Baltimore County, to Human Resources Officer, Office of Staffing. His previous experience includes Senior Business Partner in Maryland at the College of Art, Human Capital Partner with Baltimore City Public Schools, Morgan State University, Customer Service Representative, and Human Resources at Johns Hopkins University. Welcome to Baltimore County. Additional appointments this evening include Kim Dupree, who is watching virtually. She is being promoted from the position of science teacher, Woodlawn Middle School, to assistant principal for school improvement at Woodlawn Middle School. 18 years of previous experience in Baltimore County, 3 years of experience outside. Those 18 years have been spent in science at Woodlawn Middle. Congratulations, Kim. Next appointment is Angela Drager. She is being promoted from ESOL teacher at the Office of ESOL to Specialist ESOL Immigrant Family Engagement. Previous experience over the last 24 years in Baltimore County Public Schools includes Office of ESOL teacher at Shady Spring Elementary, Colgate Elementary, Spanish teacher at Sparrows Point High School and Eastern Tech High School and Middle River Middle School. She has 1 year of previous experience outside of Baltimore County Public Schools. Congratulations, Angela. Next appointment is Edwin Saunders. Edwin Saunders is being promoted from the position of assistant supervisor outside of Baltimore County, Department of Special Education, Prince George's County Public Schools, to a specialist in special education in Baltimore County. So welcome to Baltimore County, Mr. Saunders. Previous experience includes about 20 years experience in Prince George's County Public Schools, as well as Howard County Public Schools in the positions of Special Education Assistant Supervisor, School Leadership Student Support, Principal, Elementary School, as well as Assistant Principal and Teacher. Welcome to Baltimore County, Edwin Saunders. Next appointment this evening is Erica Soliday. Erica is being promoted from Specialist Preschool Services, Office of Birth to 5, to Supervisor for Child Find and Preschool Services. Previous experiences over the last 17 years in Baltimore County Public Schools includes Resource Teacher, Office of Birth to 5, Special Education Teacher, and previous experience of 7 years outside of Baltimore County Public Schools. Congratulations, Erica. And our final appointment for this evening is Alexandra Tucker. Alexandra Tucker is being promoted from Teacher of Special Education at Honey Go Elementary School to Specialist Preschool Inclusion Services. Previous 5 years experience in Baltimore County Public Schools also included self-contained teacher at Honey Go and 3 years experience outside of Baltimore County. Congratulations, Alexandra. Please allow me to thank Human Resources, who have been working tirelessly, as well as all of the schools and the Division of Schools, who have been working very hard over the last few weeks to fill vacancies. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and congratulations to everyone. One more round of applause. Our next item is public comment. This is one of the opportunities the board provides to hear the views and receive the advice of community members. The members of the board appreciate hearing from interested citizens. As appropriate, we will refer your concerns to the superintendent for follow-up by his staff. Online registration was open to the public 1 week prior to tonight's board meeting and was closed at 3 p.m. yesterday for anyone wishing to speak at this evening's meeting. Each speaker is allowed 3 minutes to address the board. No speaker substitutions will be allowed. I know this is not interesting, but this is Based on policy 80, this is a new part though. Based on policy 8315 as amended on July 11th, 2023, representatives from the following categories are invited to address the board during the public comment period of the board's meetings. A maximum of 5 spaces will be allocated in each of these groups. School system affiliated groups, unions, nonprofit community groups, and individual citizens or students, so that a diversity of viewpoints receives the opportunity to address the board. When there are more requests than available spaces in any of the categories, first priority will be given to those groups or individuals who have not spoken during the 2 prior board meetings. When the spaces reserved in any of the 4 categories are not filled, those spaces will be offered on a first-come, first-served basis through the wait list sign-up sheet. In accordance with recommendations from the Baltimore County Police Department, Homeland Security Unit, and the Office of School Safety, we have implemented the following safety and security protocols to enhance the safety of all attendees. Participants should be seated in the room during meetings. Individuals who need to stand should go out into the hallway to do so. Participants should not approach the table unless called upon to speak and should not approach the dais. While we appreciate the creativity many have shown during their presentations, materials brought to the table are limited to electronic devices, presentation papers, and posters no larger than 11 by 14 inches. Other items should be left in your seats. Information to be given to the board is to be handed to the staff member who is seated in the front area of the meeting space. Information for other participants is to be left on the designated table outside in the hall. In the event of an emergency that requires an emergency response, such as a lockdown, lockout, or evacuation, staff from the Office of School Safety will direct participants. If evacuating, participants will exit through the rear or front door in an orderly manner, leave the building, and cross over to the parking lot or other safe distance as warranted. While we encourage public input on policy, programs, and practices within the purview of this board and this school system, this is not the proper forum to address specific student or employee matters or to comment on matters that do not relate to public education in Baltimore County. We encourage everyone to utilize existing dispute resolution processes as appropriate. I remind everyone that inappropriate personnel remarks or other behavior that disrupts or interferes with the conduct of this meeting are out of order. Persons using language that is threatening or promotes violence against a BCPS employee are subject to legal penalties. Persons who otherwise disrupt or disturb this meeting will not be allowed to continue their remarks and will be escorted from the meeting. I ask speakers to observe the 3-minute clock, which will let you know when your time is up. Please conclude your remarks when you hear the tone or see that time has expired. The microphone will be turned off at the end of your time, and it could be turned off if a speaker addresses specific student or employee matters or is commenting on matters not related to public education in Baltimore County. If not selected, the public may submit their comments to the board members via email at boe@bcps.org. More information is provided on the board's website at bcps.org under Board of Education, Participation by the Public. I will now call on our school system affiliated groups to speak. Our first and only speaker in this category is Marlena Purcell, speaking on behalf of the Southwest Area Education Advisory Council.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay, great.
Good evening.
Just wanted to make sure this is new. Thank you for the opportunity tonight. Greetings, Superintendent Yarborough, Board Chair, Vice Chair, and all that is on the dais. For the record, my name is Marlena Colleton Purcell, and I'm the Chair of the Southwest Area Education Advisory Council. Tonight, I'm just bringing one of my goals, of course, is to amplify parents' concerns. And tonight, I'm just bringing one concern that parents are having for the board's ears. We all know that pre-K3 students are being added to the schools based off of the Maryland Blueprint. I believe there are 10, maybe 11 schools in the Southwest area alone. Parents are concerned with the physical adaptiveness of the playground equipment. They want to know what's the process for getting new equipment or making the equipment user-friendly to the 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds. They want to make sure that it's an equitable process with the equipment, more so with the materials. So the jump ropes, the basketballs, and all that kind of stuff, the equipment too. They would like to know what the schedules will look like and making sure that the older kids are not commingling with the little tots during recess time. Of course, these concerns are amplified because of their newness to the county. But the opportunities are there so that we can, as parents and as employees of BCPS, can ensure them that their little ones will be just fine. Now that on the budget, the capital budget, and we want to make sure that parents are coming out to the October meeting so that you can voice your concerns and make sure that monies are allocated appropriately. I welcome any opportunities with any board members to walk to all schools in the Southwest or Northwest area to make the West Zone according to your schedule to ensure that our playground equipment are being adjusted and accommodating for our pre-K students. Last but not least, I just want to do a public awareness that we all, Southwest chairs, will be represented at the Baltimore Fest on August 19th, Saturday. Hope to see you, parents, community stakeholders. If you would like to join, please make sure you reach out. Take care and have a great summer.
Thank you. Thanks. We do not have any unions represented, and we also do not have any nonprofit community groups. So we're going to move on to individual citizen and student groups. And our first speaker is Ms. Sharon Serhoff. Good evening.
Evening. I'm going to apologize in advance if I get a little passionate about what I'm speaking about, but I think that it's about time that we start seeing some changes in special ed in the county. I know that last week there was a town hall meeting that was attended by Allison Myers. Unfortunately, I was not able to attend that myself because I had Tech Week for a show that I'm in. However, I did listen to some of it. I did have a chance to speak to Ms. Myers, and I shared with her what I'm sharing with you now. In order for things to improve in Baltimore County, we have to change the culture that we are dealing with. The culture currently in Baltimore County is that schools are not on the same page as other schools, and not on the same page as the Department of Special Education. That needs to change if we're going to make any progress at all. Second, less is not more. It never was, and it never will be. It is, pardon me for saying this, ridiculous to think that a FALS class of 20 kids, I'm giving you an example that exists currently, is going to provide the same individualized instruction that 2 classes of 10 students would provide. And there is a school currently that went from 2 classes of 10 students to 1 class of 20. That's not acceptable and not appropriate. Transportation is a vital piece of special ed. It should not take me until the week before school starts to get the information as to where my student's bus stop is. Special transportation is different, has different rules from regular transportation. That leads me to my next item. Communication is paramount, and it needs to be timely. And timely does not mean it takes me a month to get an answer. And that's what I've been dealing with this summer. And that's what I dealt with last school year. This is just a few of the things that need to change as far as the culture is concerned. I know you've heard me speak about this before, and I'll continue to come and speak about it until it changes.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Bash Farone. Good evening.
Good evening. Welcome, Ms. Drummond, and welcome back, Ms. Stolowski. Congratulations to you, teacher, doctor, mother, and superintendent, Miriam Yarborough. Your job is really vital, but also it's a high stress. You are the commander of the 25th largest educational school in the country. And as a captain, you know that you need to do certain things. You need to lead by example. But also, you need to address issues of safety for everyone on board this educational ship. Your employees needs to be effective, needs to be well-trained, need to be versed in high technology, and most important, needs to be dedicated, not complaining. You need to stock this educational aircraft carrier equivalent with fuel. And my question to you, and I really support you dearly, as you know, where the money is going to come from. You need money to do all the things that you proposed to do. And who pays the bill is important. I know I use the aircraft carrier as an example because I really see quite a bit of similarities. You need expensive radars, sensors. You need all kinds of expensive equipments. And your school system, just like aircraft carrier, need not really have alcohol, drugs, cigarettes, marijuana, bullying, and all other things. Above all, for me, I think the technology, personally, I think will solve many issues. I hope you believe in educational AI. I think the new employees needs to be versed in it. And those should not really fear anything in the form of artificial intelligence, software, hardware, learning equipment. These are tools to help them to be more efficient. Last, I wish I really help you in your task. I have only 10 seconds. I hope you have more parents like me in your group than just employees. If you have only employees and political organizations, I think it will be the same, personally.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry for being late.
Okay. And our last speaker is Amy Adams. Good evening.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back, Ms. Stolowski. It's nice to see you on the board again. Dr. Yarborough, we hope that you're settling into your new role as superintendent after a few short and I'm sure very busy weeks. My name is Amy Adams, and I'm one of the leaders of the Baltimore County and Parent-Student Coalition. We have 5,000 members across the county, and we collaborate with various other community and advocacy groups. Our goal is to study the system and to help parents and guardians and students navigate it so they can advocate for their needs. We have really high expectations of BCPS, especially since many of us have been around long enough to remember when BCPS was thriving. Dr. Yarborough, we really appreciate you holding the community sessions. The feedback from our members has been very positive, especially the last session on the topic of special education. Unfortunately, we know you weren't able to be there, but the presentation that acknowledged some of the challenges that BCPS families have coped with related to diagnostic testing and fulfillment of services and the ability to ask really thoughtful questions and raise concerns to the executive director was really meaningful. So that was a positive change from recent practices. We are very close to the new school year, and as you can imagine, a little anxious to see how it's going to come together. Dr. Yarbrough, we look forward to the report from your transition team and what actions you plan to take based on their long and short-term recommendations. And maybe we'll hear it tonight. I couldn't tell from the agenda, perhaps at the next August meeting. We look forward to your superintendent report about the systematic changes you will make to change the downward trajectory of academic outcomes and the variable standards of acceptable student behavior and a wide range of implementation of consequences. We look forward to the status report on how the teachers' professional development is going for the elementary ELA teachers that are tasked to learn and implement a new curriculum, and what progress measurements will occur to ensure proper implementation and student success. We appreciate the early release of the student handbook, but we're a little disappointed that the cell phone policy looks unchanged. Perhaps because the policy itself was adequate, but the implementation was where the breakdown occurred. And if you could provide any more information from the summer meeting with the principals on the topic, we would appreciate it. I did go through the student handbook to examine current practices and must admit it looks pretty similar to the years past. It sounds great, but speaking to fellow parents, teachers, and kids, so much of it is not being executed as written. What good is a 52-page manual if few read it or consistently put it into practice? It's been a common theme for these documents and board or committee or community presentations to be disconnected from what's actually occurring in reality. That's been identified as a breakdown in the system in the recent past. So we look forward to learning more on these topics and others from the report this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. There were no speakers signed up on our wait list, so that concludes our public comments. Next on the agenda is, is the superintendent's report, and for that I call on Dr. Yarbrough.
Thank you. Good evening, Chair Harvey. I apologize. Chair Lichter, Vice Chair Harvey, members of the board. This evening, I'm pleased to present the superintendent's report. Next slide, please. On behalf of Baltimore County Public Schools, I'd like to express deepest sympathies to the family, friends of Natalie Adams and the Dundalk Middle School community. Natalie Adams was the principal of Dundalk Middle School. She was dedicated, passionate, full of life, and truly loved her students and community. As a loving mom, daughter, fiance, and friend, she gave more than 25 years of service to Baltimore County, where she started as a science teacher. I want to extend our deepest sympathy to the Adams family, and in loving memory of Natalie Adams, I ask that everyone please join me in a moment of silence. Thank you. Next slide, please. This evening's report, I want to share an update on where we are with stakeholder feedback as well as staffing for Baltimore County Public Schools. This slide depicts our approach. It is really how we have gone about doing our work and how we will continue to do our work across the system. We will continue to embrace and engage all members of Team BCPS in authentic collaboration, open conversations, and empower them to share their truths of their experiences. We want all members of BCPS to know and feel that they are a part of our positive change, and only together will we be able to move forward and excel. Next slide, please. As has been shared previously, we have identified 4 priorities for Baltimore County Public Schools in making sure that we've met all of the community meet and greets, meeting with all divisions in central office, as well as meeting with external stakeholder groups and lawmakers. They have confirmed that these 4 areas of priority are aligned with what the growing needs are in Baltimore County. You can expect, moving forward, to hear regular updates on academic achievement, infrastructure, safety and climate, and highly effective teachers, leaders, and staff. We will begin shortly by sharing an update on where we are with our teachers. Next slide, please. I'm proud to report that currently we are almost 97% staffed with teachers. We have approximately 268 remaining vacancies. If you take a look at the table, you'll note that most of our schools have 2 or fewer vacancies, and we have 63 schools to date that have no teacher vacancies. In the event that past this Friday we remain with vacancies, we are going to be working directly with principals and central office to help meet those gaps. Our goal is to make sure that every student has a highly qualified teacher, the same teacher, in front of them delivering high-quality instruction on a daily basis when we open our doors in August. Some of the ways that we will achieve that are through reassignment of support from central office, additional hiring events that we have planned both centrally as well as specific schools. University interns will be hired as long-term substitutes. We will continue to partner with Kelly Substitute Agency for long-term substitute placement. CCBC, we are starting a partnership where they have graciously offered to provide remote instruction support, e-learning options that we started last year, as well as providing secondary teachers with the option to pick up an additional class. We are going to continue to work together, central office as well as school base, to make sure that all students have highly effective teachers on the first day. So I want to thank all of the principals for their hard work in this area, as well as human resources and all central office who has been working tirelessly to brainstorm different ways to meet the needs of our students moving forward. Next slide, please. And for our last slide, I just want to share that we have started our outreach to community, our Back to BCPS campaign. We are looking forward to meeting with families at our BCPS Fest in another week and a half. But if you go to our webpage and go to the Back to BCPS page, you'll find important dates to consider, checklists to get ready for school, and additional opportunities where I will be engaging with the community. It is our goal to make sure that our families have the information that they need so that students are well prepared and parents and caregivers know what to expect on the first day of school. So thank you for this opportunity to share this update and many more updates to come, including an update on the transition report and updates on our curriculum and the difference in terms of discipline and cell phone implementation. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Yarbrough. Next on the agenda is the chair report, and I also want to start my comments by offering my sincere condolences to the Dundalk Middle School community on the loss of their principal, Natalie Adams. I had the privilege of being part of a professional learning community with Miss Adams for several years and was able to witness her passion and dedication to her school community. Her commitment to her profession was evident throughout her career and in those she touched within all of the school communities she worked with. Her presence and work in BCPS will be missed. Board of Education members participated in 2 3-hour retreats during the month of July, and our third session is scheduled for later this month. The focus of our time together centered on building a positive and productive relationship between our new superintendent and the Board of Education, understanding the importance of governance as the foundation for our work as board members, and developing common agreements regarding communication. I'd like to thank Dr. Yarbrough for her work on organizing the content of the retreats, Molly Young from MABE, and Chief of Staff Mildred Charlie Green for her facilitation. I'd also like to thank my fellow board members for taking the time out of their very busy summer schedules to attend the sessions and fully engage in the discussions. Congratulations in advance to our students who will be graduating Thursday evening. It is BCPS's practice to schedule an August graduation to allow students who completed their coursework over the summer to participate in a system-wide graduation to receive their diplomas and honor their accomplishments. This graduation is wonderful to witness as students, teachers, and administrators from across the county come together in celebration. I was able to visit Dundalk High School's summer program and observe the work that they are doing. This program, like many others throughout BCPS, provides students access to the coursework they need to complete, along with staff to provide support and motivation. Thanks to all of our educators that participated in Summer School 2023 and are helping our students walk across the stage this week. While it has only been 5+ weeks since Dr. Yarbrough started her tenure as superintendent of BCPS, I would like to thank her for the work she has done to communicate with the public. In addition to the 8 community forums, she has had multiple meetings with county politicians and has met with the press. Through these interactions, she has worked to ensure that the greater BCPS community has had a chance to understand her priorities for the system, hear her passion for improving outcomes for students, as well as provide her with their input concerning the strengths and needs of BCPS. In addition, and definitely worth noting, is the time she spent with principals during their 2-day Leadership Academy this summer. Instead of giving a keynote address or providing greetings, she conducted sessions throughout both days that allowed all of our principals a chance to interact directly with her in small group sessions. The response we have received has been extremely positive and is working to build a climate and culture where all stakeholders work together to move the system forward. So thank you, Dr. Rara. So thank you, Dr. Yarbrough, for a very positive and productive first 5 weeks. And that concludes my report. And next on the agenda is Ms. Drummond's first student member report. So, Ms. Drummond, it's yours.
Hi. Okay. Good evening, everyone. I wanted to take this time to introduce myself, making it short and sweet, and to let it be known what I'm here to do. This is what I was supposed to say at my first board meeting, which did not go as planned for me, but I moved past every trial and tribulation and don't plan to be held back after all of the work I've put in. So, if you haven't heard it enough, I'm Kayla Drummond, a rising senior at Parkville High School, and surprise, Baltimore County's 2023-2024 student member of the board. I'm here and ready to serve all 111,000 students spread across all 178 schools and hear them collectively. While getting ready for my first board meeting, someone reminded me that everyone has a real and meaningful purpose, and I believe that the start of mine is to actively listen to and help be a shining light in the lives of as many as I can. Being here today makes everything real, and I can finally be proud of myself. I first heard there even was a student member of the board my sophomore year when Christian Thomas made a school visit to Parkville and had a panel of students. Me being one of them, I learned about his position and became interested. That one day changed everything. Here I am today, sitting in the same spot I watched Aroa Hassan sit in and impact so many, talking to you all, and making myself heard. While I am the student member of the board, or SMOB as some may call it, I hope to be as loving, graceful, and determined as possible. I hope to lead in a positive manner while making my predecessors, Roa, Christian, and everyone before, proud. Most importantly, I plan to make all students proud of what I have accomplished by the end of my term. In the process, showing everyone that I am capable of holding and excelling in this position. Thank you, and I look forward to continuing as Baltimore County's 43rd student member of the Board of Education.
Thank you, and welcome to the board. The next item on the agenda is unfinished business, consideration of board policies. This is the second reader for these policies, and for that I call on Ms. Christina Pumphrey, Chair of the Policy Review Committee.
Thank you. Members of the board, the Policy Review Committee asks that the board accept the committee's recommendation to amend Board Policy 6301, Schedules School Calendar. This policy is presented to you on tonight's agenda as Exhibit J.
May I have a motion to accept the recommendation of the Board's Policy Review Committee for Board Policy 6301?
So moved, Stileski.
Second, Savoy.
No, thank you. No second is needed since the recommendation comes from the committee. Is there any discussion? May I have a roll call vote, please?
Ms. Dominowski?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Ms. Frempong?
Yes.
Ms. Stileski?
Yes.
Ms. Henn?
Yes.
Ms. Harvey?
Yes.
Ms. Drummond?
Yes.
Ms. Pumphrey?
Yes.
Dr. Savoy?
Yes.
Mr. McMillian?
Yes.
Ms. Lichter?
Yes.
Thank you. Favor 11.
Okay, motion passes. Thank you. The next item on the agenda is action taken in closed session, and for that I call on Ms. Vesti Jones. I'm sorry.
Madam Chair, Vice Chair Harvey, Dr. Yarborough, and members of the board. For the record, I'm Claude Devassi-Jones, Board Counsel. Earlier this evening, the board met in closed session in its quasi-judicial capacity to render a decision in summary affirmance of HE 23-26, where no oral argument was requested pursuant to policies 8340 and 8341. Now would be an appropriate time to confirm the action taken in closed session on HE 2326.
May I have a motion to approve the action taken in closed session on hearing examiner's case HE 2326 and authorize Ms. Gover to sign for those board members not physically present?
So moved, Frimpong.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second, Harvey.
Thank you. Any discussion? May I have a roll call vote, please?
Ms. Dominowski?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Ms. Frempong?
Yes.
Ms. Delusky?
Yes.
Ms. Henn?
Yes.
Ms. Harvey?
Yes.
Ms. Drummond?
Yes.
Ms. Pumphrey?
Yes.
Dr. Savoy?
Yes.
Mr. McMillian?
Yes.
Ms. Lichter?
Yes.
Favor is 11.
Thank you. Motion carries.
Thank you. In addition, the board met in closed session last month in its quasi-judicial capacity to render decisions in affirmance of HE 23-04 and 22-34, where oral arguments were presented pursuant to policies 8340 and 8341. At this time, it would be an appropriate time to confirm the action taken in that closed session.
May I have a motion to approve the action taken in closed session on oral argument cases HE 22-34 and 23-04 and authorize Ms. Gover to sign for those board members not physically present?
So moved, Frimpong.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second, Dominowski.
Thank you. Any discussion? May I have a roll call vote, please?
Ms. Dominowski?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Ms. Frempong?
Yes.
Ms. Delusky?
Yes.
Ms. Henn?
Yes.
Ms. Harvey?
Yes.
Ms. Drummond?
Yes.
Ms. Pumphrey?
Yes.
Dr. Savoy?
Yes.
Mr. McMillian?
Yes.
Ms. Lichter?
Yes.
Thank you. Favor is 11.
Thank you. Motion passes. Thanks. The next item on the agenda is contract awards, and for that I call Ms. Harvey, Chair of the Building and Contracts Committee.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Members of the board, the board's Building and Contract Committee met on Monday, August 7, 2023. Items L-1 through L-10 are being forwarded to the full board for approval.
Do I have a motion to approve items L1 through L10?
So moved, Pumphrey.
Thank you. No second is needed since the recommendation comes from the committee. Any discussion? May I have a roll call vote, please?
Ms. Dominowski?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Ms. Frempong?
Yes.
Ms. Delusky?
Yes.
Ms. Henn?
Yes.
Ms. Harvey?
Yes.
Ms. Drummond?
Yes.
Ms. Pumphrey?
Yes.
Dr. Savoy?
Yes.
Mr. McMillian?
Yes.
Ms. Lichter?
Yes.
Thank you. Favor is 11.
Okay, motions pass. The next item on the agenda is the report on the FY 2025 State Capital Budget Request, and for that I call on Mr. Hartlove and Mr. Dixit.
Good evening, Chair
Good eve-
Victor, Vice Chair Harvey, Dr. Yarbrough, and members of the board. So we are here today to introduce FY 2025 State Capital Program, and join with me today is Mr. Merrill Plate, who's Director of Construction, and Mr. Hartlove. A schedule is included in the documents that we provided to you, and we'll share again what the schedule is. Introduction to the board in this meeting, August 8th meeting. There'll be a detailed work session that we'll be sharing with you in the meeting of August 22nd, and board will vote in the meeting of September 12th, 2023. Then we'll submit the entire package to the state. That's the schedule in brief. As part of the process, we'll go over the details and highlight the differences in the capital program from the last capital program presented and approved by you. We request that you submit all your questions by August 14th, and we'll come prepared to answer as many questions as we can. And if we cannot answer, we'll let you know why we cannot provide answer at that time. We'll also share with you again the future of the process. All of these documents that we have shared with you, you'll see a lot of numbers in there. These numbers are calculated to the best of our understanding using the state-approved formula. They are continuously updated. They are reviewed by our fiscal partners. We have done preliminary conversation with the state and county fiscal partners. So we wanted to share that information, and at this time, we have no other information to share other than ensuring you that we'll have all the answers in the next work session. Thank you very much. That concludes my presentation.
Okay, thank you. So we'll submit our questions by August 14th for the August 22nd meeting. Okay, thank you. Okay. The next item on the agenda is the report on the closure of the Campfield Early Learning Center program, and for that, I call Mr. Dixit back. Is that what you were trying to tell me?
Good evening again. We are here to request your approval for the closure of Campfield Early Learning Center program. With me today is Mr. Paul Taylor, who's the Director of Strategic Planning in the Office of Facilities Management and Strategic Planning. The process for closing is defined in the Board Policy 7610. The rationale for closing Campfield is the return of programs to the students' home school or regional programs to appropriate schools. The process of relocating students will occur over the next 3 years, and that we wanted to make sure that board understands that starting in the school year 2024. In order to provide sufficient space for the return of the Campfield students, a boundary process is needed for the redistribution of those students in the Northwest region. The boundary study will begin in September of 2023 and will be completed in December 2023. The Board of Education will make a decision regarding the boundary study in March of 2024. There is a lot of information that we are sharing with you, and it could be confusing. Therefore, we'll have a brief presentation to share this step by step, and Mr. Taylor will guide us with that presentation.
Good evening. Next slide, please. Rationale. The capital improvement program includes 4 projects at elementary schools, adding 1,200 additional seats approximately to the Northwest area. Anticipated completion of these capital projects are as follows. Bedford Elementary School, fall of 2024. Summit Park Elementary School, fall 2024. Deer Park Elementary School, fall 2025. And Scotts Branch Elementary School, fall 2026. Next slide, please. Additional rationale. Completion of these projects in conjunction with a boundary process will provide improved facilities for students and facilitate the return of Campfield Early Learning Center students to their home schools or to regional programs nearby. The urgency of the closure decision is due to its essential role in the boundary study for Northwest Elementary Schools, which must begin in September 2023 in order to meet the capital project timelines. Next slide, please. Closing. The process for school closure is governed by Board of Education policy and Superintendent's Rule 7610. If the board approves the recommendation to close Campfield Early Learning Center, final closure is anticipated in fall 2026, when the 4th capital project in the Northwest area is completed. Once programs have moved, the facility will no longer be used for primary grade instruction, and the facility can be repurposed. Next slide, please. If the board approves closure, the next step for Campfield will be determining through analysis of repurposing. Repurposing, the internal process, will be based on an internal process to identify the highest needs of BCPS and the best uses of the site. The process will include a development of a scope of work, design and construction, identification of funding, procurement, and a minimum time of modifications, depending on the scope, from 12 to 18 months. This program closure timeline, which, again, the effective date of the closure would be September 2026. Today, the recommendation to the board. August 23rd, the Board of Education public hearing scheduled at Pikesville High School. And then September 12th, 2023, the Board of Education decision. That concludes our presentation, and we're happy to answer any questions.
Are there any questions from board members? Yes, Ms. Frimpong?
Thank you for the presentation. I have two questions. So the first one is, how is the information being communicated about the closure of the Campfield Learning Center? How is it being communicated, and at what frequency, just to make sure the message is getting out there?
Well, in accordance with Rule 7610, the first communication is called a Notice of Proposal to Close, and that has already been sent out to the community, those who would be affected by the closure. That went through all the schools that had students in Campfield. And then the next communication, in addition to this presentation tonight, there'll be another notification referred to as the Notice of a Recommendation to the Board, and again in accordance with 7610, and that will go out to the public as well. And also the Office of Communication will be sending out a media release.
So the media release will be sent. Do you have any idea for timing? And again, is that going to be repeated? And I ask because it's a 3-year process, so just so we kind of keep that information in front of parents.
Yeah, we anticipate that the community advisor will go out this week.
Okay, thank you. And then the second question, just so I'm clear, when you say fall of 2026, does that mean then the last instruction at Campfield will be spring of 2026?
Yes.
Okay.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Ms. Daleski?
Yes, thank you for your presentation. Just so that the public can plan to be involved, would you mind just stating the time for the public hearing that will be at Pikesville High School? Just
Yeah,
so
the
that
public hearing will be at Pikesville High School Auditorium, and it's on our website, and I believe it starts at 6:30 and goes till 7. But it's on the website, the exact time of the hearing. And public can speak. They have to sign up ahead of time. And the Office of Communications will be sending out a notice about that as well.
Great. Thank you.
Other questions from the board members? Nope. Okay. Thank you, gentlemen. Did you have more information?
No.
We don't have any more questions.
Thank you.
It works out that way. Thank you. The next item on the agenda is board member comments and agenda setting. So we'll start with Ms. Domanowski. Do you have any comments or agenda setting items?
I wanted to, this is more towards Ms. Pumphrey and policy as far as with the AI and the ChatGPT. We don't have, not that I'm aware of that we have any policy on that in our school systems, and I think it's something we should get ahead of before. I'd like to see us get ahead of it and get, if we could start talking about how we're going to police that in our schools as far as like, are students going to be allowed to use it? How are we going to check or I don't know, just, I don't know enough about AI or ChatGPT, and I would like us to explore that.
Thank you. Mr. Young?
Just a welcome to Ms. Drummond.
Thank you. Ms. Rempong?
None today. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Lusky?
I'm just really pleased to see how many vacancies have been filled, and so many people have worked really hard to do that.
Thank you. Ms. Harvey?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to remind everyone that the next Building and Contracts Committee meeting is on Monday, September 11th at 5 o'clock, and we welcome everyone to join and listen to that information being provided, and also to encourage communities, families, parents, and students to take advantage of the waning days of summer to get ready for the first day of school.
Thank you. Ms. Drummond?
I have nothing.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Pumphrey?
Just a quick comment. I had the opportunity to attend several of the superintendent meet and greet events held throughout the county.
She didn't just attend some. She was there.
including the forum for the special education community. Issues regarding special education were brought up throughout each of the meeting greets. Therefore, I was excited to see a forum added specifically for our special education community. I think that was important. I also had the opportunity to attend the BCPS Partnership Fair. Over 100 community partners attended this event, excited and motivated to work together with BCPS and assist schools and students in various ways. Most notable was the feedback that I heard from stakeholders at each of these community events, and as well as the partnership fair. The common theme was hopefulness. A teacher specifically approached me at the partnership fair to express that this is the most hopeful that they've felt in a long time. So I just think that's a great thing to say and a great tone to set for the start of a new school year.
Thank you, Ms. Pumphrey. Dr. Savoy?
I just want to say that the Equity Committee will convene at 4 p.m. on August 17th, and we'll have an agenda.
Thank you. Ms. Henn?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to see our future agendas, all future agendas moving forward, aligned to the superintendent's priorities. Those four being academic achievement, safety and climate, infrastructure, and highly effective teachers, leaders, and staff. I'd like to see a few minutes set aside for each of those priority areas so that the board is discussing those items from a governance perspective, but to leave it open for any pressing issues as well as any questions, comments, or concerns board members may have. So I'd ask Dr. Yarborough to consider adding those to her proposed agenda for regular board meetings. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. McMillian?
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Having taught school for over 35 years, I realize how important it is to come into the school year rested and ready to go. And I hope our families and our students and our teachers and our staff and our administrators, we have, if I'm not mistaken, 20 days until we begin. And I just hope you have the opportunity to relax and sit back a little bit and think about what's coming ahead for the next school year. And I hope that everyone has a wonderful year, and I just hope you have the opportunity to just reflect and relax a little bit. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The last item on the agenda is announcements. The board's next meeting will be held on Tuesday, August 22nd, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. The board's public hearing on the Camp Field Early Learning Program closure will be held on Wednesday, August 23rd, 2023 in the Pikesville High School Auditorium. Sign up for speakers begins at 5:30 p.m. and the hearing will begin at 6:30 p.m. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. And with Mr. McMillian wanting everyone to rest, we will end the meeting at 7:44. We are now adjourned. Yay!